Alrighty, guys, check it out. So the markets did pretty well today. We had the Nasdaq up 0.75%. We had the S&P up 0.4. The Russell went up 0.1, and the Dow did break even. So not the best day for the Dow, as the VIX went down about 3.5%. And we had the metals. Let's see here. Gold went down 0.1 as silver went up 0.1%. So in this video, we're going to break down the markets. We're going to break down a bunch of charts and stocks. So if you all find value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moo, link down below, guys. Get your free money. More on that later. And now let's dive into it. So again, pretty good day across the board today for all the indexes. Even though the Dow broke even, I guess technically it did go up 0.2 or 0.02 or actually 0.01%, roughly 2 points. So technically it did go up barely, but pretty much, guys, come on, it broke even as the Russell again went up 0.1%. So pretty good day across the board, and you can see the intraday low on SPY here was right around 405, and we pretty much rallied all day. You guys can see we rallied, we broke over 407, which you all know was resistance from the beginning of March. You can see here we momentarily broke under that point. We broke under it for a little bit. I mean, barely any time there, right? And then we ended up rallying over 407, which is great. And we closed at about 409. So the fact that we broke back over 407, closed at 409, up 0.4%, that would be, I'd consider, a W in the books for the bulls today, right? And we'll see what happens here tomorrow. Well, actually, the markets are closed tomorrow for Good Friday. I forgot about that. But we'll see what happens on Monday, guys, next week at this $410 level. It's going to be very big here for SPY. And another W here for SPY, for the bulls at least, is the fact that we broke out of the 5-day, 5-minute downtrend. That's a big W in the books for the bulls. You guys can see now we have a golden cross on the 5-day, 5-minute. We took out the highs from the pre-market and the highs from yesterday. That's a W in the books, right? So we'll see now what happens at about $410, which you guys can see that is a resistance here from, it looks like, after the aftermarket on from what day was that? Tuesday. Yeah, we hit 409.50, failed at that point, dumped yesterday, which was Wednesday. So let's see what happens at 409. 410. Do we break that point? That's going to be very critical moving forward for the bulls. So I'm going to set my alert now at $410 on SPY. We'll see where it goes from there. If that does break, I suspect this to go towards 412, maybe even higher. You guys can see the high from earlier this week was 412.75. So that's a quick little breakdown here on SPY, what's going on right now in the very short term. And on Triple Q, if I pull this up, let me show you guys what is going on. This one up 0.7%, which I would also consider a W in the books for the bulls. You guys can see here we consolidated at the 50 SMA for about a day and a half, and today we got a clear-cut bounce off that 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which you guys can see here. If I zoom in a little bit, that's a very good sign for the bulls. And if I zoom in here on, let's say, the 5-day, 5-minute, just like SPY, this is starting to reverse on this time frame as well. We're above the moving averages. We took out key levels from yesterday, and we actually closed above 318, which is a very good sign considering a couple of days ago we held 318 as support. 2 days ago we held it as well. So we broke past 318 when it was a resistance as of yesterday and earlier today. So we broke past that resistance, closed above it. That's a very good sign. Now for the short term, for next week, I'm going to be watching to see if Triple Q will maintain 318 and start to fill the gap to about 320, 321, which you guys can see earlier this week. That is where we were struggling, and it's clear as day here on the 5-day chart. And if I pull up the 4-hour chart, you're going to notice that that was resistance 320 roughly a couple of months ago, back in the end from the end of August. So I think next week we could clear out. If we clear out above 318, well, we technically closed above it, but if we fill the gap to 320, break that, of course, there's going to be more upside there, and the bulls will obviously be heavily in charge at that point. And even now, they're still in charge, guys. Let's be honest. The bulls are still in charge here on Triple Q, and today was a W in the books for the bulls on Triple Q and the SPY, which tracks the NASDAQ 100. So let's take a quick look at what oil did today. Then we'll break down some different stocks. Then we'll wrap up the video. It's not going to be too long of a video tonight, guys. So oil's still at about $80 a barrel. All right. Still hovering right around 80, 82, which is where, it's been struggling for months. You guys can see on this chart, we've covered this before time and time again. 80 to 83, that's been resistance since the beginning of really the middle towards the end of November, beginning of December. So if this does break 83 a barrel, which I've been saying on this channel, guys, my alerts at 83, that's why it's there. There could be a serious shift in trend at that point. We might break out, start going 90, 95 a barrel, 93 a barrel, which is where we double topped back in October was the first top. You guys see right here if I zoom in, and the second top was right around the beginning of November. So that's where this could be going. I'm telling you guys, oil could catch fire quick, no pun intended, if it starts breaking the mid-80s a barrel. No doubt about it. That's at least what I believe. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And that's just me coming from a technical, looking at this from a technical perspective. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. As always, guys, and if you haven't hit that like button yet, smash that like button. We're trying to get, subscribe as well, because we're trying to get 30,000 subscribers. We're pretty close. We're at like 27 now, something like that. We're getting close, guys, so make sure to subscribe if you have not done that already. So let's run through some stocks really quickly, guys. Then we'll wrap up the video. Let's see what did well today. Well, AMC did very well today, which we talked about in my video earlier today. Make sure you guys go check it out. AMC went up 21%, right around 550. That's a big sticking point coming up, which I mentioned earlier. If that does break, we're probably going to see a lot more upside in AMC. And go check out that video if you guys want to know why it went up 20% today. We're not going to talk about it again in this video, but AMC was the most green stock on my watch list today by far. We had Alibaba go up 4.2%, which you guys can see clearly. We took out the neckline. Now we pulled back. We recently pulled back a couple of days ago from 105 down to about 98. Now we're getting that clear-cut bounce off the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, off the neckline of the head and shoulders, and we also have a golden cross here, guys. That's a very good sign for Alibaba. So I'm going to set my alert, actually. I have one at 110. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. I'm going to put it right around 105. Let me replace that, and we'll see where it goes from that point. 105, again, was the high from the end of March. If that breaks, guys, more upside could come here on Alibaba, no doubt about it. We also had Big Tech do pretty well today, as you guys saw from the beginning of the video. The Nasdaq did very well today, so Big Tech had to have done well, right? Microsoft today went up a whopping 2.5%. And look at this now, right? We're about to test the highs from a couple months ago. Well, we're at the highs from a couple of months ago. We're testing them now, and those highs were at $294. You guys see that here from the middle of August. So that level is likely to break. I don't want to say it's likely to break, but it will test. And if it does break, we're probably going to start moving. Let's see here on the 3-year chart. The next major gap to fill on Microsoft would be towards 315. That'd be the next level, I'd say, to the upside. If that were to break, we're probably going to be going towards 350, which was the all-time high from the end of November. So that was about 2 years ago. Yeah, actually, a year and a half ago? Either way, yeah, about a year and a half ago, that's where we hit that all-time high. So I'm telling you guys, if 300 breaks on Microsoft, there's going to be a move, maybe not straight to 350. I'm not saying that for sure, but towards 315, which again is the high from, let's see, when was that? About a year ago, April of last year. That's where this thing could be going. So I just set my alert at $300 here on Microsoft. Let's see what it ends up doing at that point. We also had Meta today do very well, which you guys know Meta has just been trucking along. I mentioned this. Wall Street hated Meta stock a couple months ago, and they flipped the switch about a couple weeks ago, really about probably a couple months ago now. And ever since then, we've gotten buy prices, or buy ratings, right? High price targets, and the stock's just been going up and away. Now it's ran away, and I wouldn't consider this obviously as great of a value as it was a couple months ago. And I feel like it's starting to get, I'm not saying it's frothy or overvalued, but definitely in the short term, looking at the technicals, it's overbought. Overbought is different than overvalued, guys. Keep that in mind. I think the chart's a little overbought. It might not be overvalued if we're looking at it from a long-term perspective, but It's just way too hot, I think. Way too hot. And we did get a mini pullback here after earnings. You guys can see where we went from about 200 to about 170. Now, with hindsight, of course, being 2020, that would have been a great time to get in and buy the dip, which I was talking about it at that time. Not to toot my own horn, guys, but at this level where we are now at 215, I'm going to be waiting for a pullback, maybe down to about 195, 200, and we'll see where it goes from there. So that is Meta. We talked about Microsoft, Roblox. Let's do a quick update on that because we had that ascending triangle that I called out a couple videos ago, which that has not yet played out fully yet, but I feel like any minute now, any day now, there could be a massive leg up coming on Roblox, maybe back towards that low mid 50 level. That's what I've been saying here on the channel. So Roblox, watching it. Snapchat did pretty well today. Let's pull it up. Snapchat went up about 1.6% today, and yesterday it dumped off like crazy. What did I miss on Snap yesterday? Hold on a second. What? Why did Snap go down 6% yesterday? What happened? Did I miss something there? I must have missed something, clearly. Let's see here. Snap shares are trading lower amid overall market weakness, yada, 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 yada. The stock may also be pulling back after recently gaining on U.S. regulatory pressure on TikTok. I don't know. I mean, do you guys think TikTok will be banned? I haven't really been paying attention to all the legal stuff going on with TikTok. But I don't know. Maybe that hype's dying off here because if you guys remember when we first got that word that TikTok might be banned, it's in Biden's hands now, whatever. Snapchat ended up going ballistic that day, which I think was a couple weeks ago. And TikTok being banned has been on the table for years at this point, ever since Trump was in office. But will it actually get banned? I don't think it will. I mean, personally, I don't think it will. I could be crazy. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion in a nutshell to keep it quick. I don't think it will be banned, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. But as of now, Snap is at a critical point. If I clear the drawing set, we can see now we're technically at a higher low here. We also have lower highs being made. So let's see what happens here at this point. 10, 1030, 1050 on Snapchat stock. Let's see what else ended up moving today. Amazon, of course, Google moved. We'll talk about that in a second. Amazon ended up going up about 0.9, about 1% today. Not bad. Inverse head and shoulders is still intact. You guys see that? We have a golden cross as well. That's playing out. We had Google today go up 4%. Monstrous day today for Google with earnings coming up. Just like that, guys, big tech's earnings are coming up. Google's earnings are later this month on the 25th of, what is that? Of course, April, which is this month, right? I'm clearly losing track of time, guys. But Google went to about $109 today. We're testing that high from a couple weeks ago, which was right around 110. And clearly now we're taking the highs out from later, rather late March, which those highs were right around 106.7-ish. So we took that out. That's great. Now, if we break 110, there could be a lot more upside to come here on Google. No doubt about it. So Google's looking strong. Big tech's looking strong. Let's see what's looking weak. Of course, Bed Bath & Beyond went down another 8% today, which we talked about in my video earlier today. And we had Airbnb take a bit of a beating, which right now is in free fall mode, guys. Airbnb down 5% on the day. Clearly a falling knife. Clearly we have head and shoulders playing out here. So at some point we will get a relief rally on Airbnb, no doubt about it. The $1 million question is, when is that going to come? I have no idea. We just took the lows out from last week. Couple weeks ago from the middle of March. That's not good. So I'm watching this more of a kind of as like a rebound play, relief rally play, and I'll set my alert. You know what would be a good spot for this? If it retakes that low from the middle of March, being about 112, if we break back over that, that's where we could likely get a extended relief rally. So I put my alert just now at $112. We'll see what happens. Mark is out or above 112. And again, if that breaks, we can get some sort of extended relief rally, maybe back towards 120, maybe even higher than that. So I'm going to wrap up the video here, guys. 14 minutes in. That's perfect timing. If you haven't gotten up to 15 stocks yet for Moomoo, what are you waiting for? Use that link down below. Open up an account. You get 1 free share of stock. And listen to this. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free stocks with what would that equal? 4 plus 1, 5 free stocks, guys. So open up an account, you get 1 stock, deposit $100, you get 4 more stocks, 5 stocks. My first grade math level is good, guys, right? And if you deposit at least $1,000, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 15 stocks. And of course, it also helps out the channel, guys. So use that link down below. Let me know what free stocks you get. Get up to 12 stocks from Webull as well. And check out my Patreon if you guys want to see my charts throughout the day, have more access with me, be a part of the Discord chat. And if you want to see the Patreon portfolio, that's linked down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, which I made a bunch earlier. Go check out the earlier videos. I'll see you guys there.